match. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
So there's this guy. We'll just say, what's a last name? What's a common last
Langston.
name? Langston. So Frank Langston owns a hardware store in Lansing, Michigan, right? And everybody loves him. He's running for town clerk. The whole town loves him. They basically, like, someone gets a flat tire, Frank's already pulled over the side of the road fixing it. He owns a hardware store. Everybody meets at the hardware store every morning, grabs a cup of coffee, brings him donut, Loves him. Everyone in the town loves him. One day, well, he has a little kid, right? He has a daughter. Does he have one kid or two kids? He's got a daughter, Katie.
Just the one.
He's just the one. And it was almost none. Because one Christmas morning, we'll say it's Christmas morning, because that's better. She's out doing her Christmas ritual. The family's, the wife and Frank, the mom and Frank are on the shore of their pond. They got a little pond in the backyard on their little rural farmhouse in Lansing, Michigan. And she goes ice skating out on the pond. Crack! Guess what? Thin ice. Nobody knew. She falls right through. Guess who rips off his scarf and runs in and saves her? Frank, her dad. But it's sad. Are you taking a video? I thought you were just doing a sound recording. Just do a sound recording. So he runs in, saves her, right? Drags her out. He gives her CPR. She pukes up. A fish comes out of her mouth. Next thing you know,
he falls through.
He fell through too. Yeah, he dove in. He got her. So then he goes, "Oh, I'm so glad that I saved you, honey." And he's hugging her. She goes, "Oh, me too, papi." She's like 7, so she says, "Oh, thanks, Dad. I love you." And then he goes, "Let's go inside and carve the turkey. Let's go open a gift, Yeah, well, no. He goes, "Let's go inside and open a gift." Then they're sitting around having Christmas breakfast, and he goes to pick up the newspaper to read it, and he knows he's got a little cough. He feels chilled. He's cold. He has pneumonia. Later that day, dead. He's at the hospital, dies of pneumonia. And little did you know, because he's such a nice guy, he filled out his donor card. So his organs, his eyes went somewhere, his ears went somewhere, a couple of his toes. Next thing you know, fast forward, because of how proud she was of her dad. Everybody loved her dad. She was so sad. She was depressed. In middle school, she was emo. And then in high school, she really found herself, Really found herself, because she was proud.
Feminist.
So she, out of high school, she saves up. She goes to college. She gets an art major. And then she says, "What am I going to do with this?" So she opens a bookstore with her inheritance money from Frank's hardware store. Because the mom, we're going to have to sell the store. I want to keep it in the family, but I just can't run it on my own. The mom, whatever, Shirley, it's Christmas Eve. It's Christmas Eve 10 years later. I can't keep the store open. We've got 2 employees, and they can't afford a turkey this year. Everybody's volunteering. So then they have to sell the store to evil Mr. Cleary that lives across town that nobody likes. Bad Mr. Cleary. And long story short, she gets a little bit of money from the sale of the store. Mom probably died too. And then 10 years after that, she used some of her inheritance money, she squirreled it away, put it in her weasel sack. After she gets done with college, she opens up a bookstore on none other than Little Main Street in Lansing, Michigan.
What was it called?
Next door, or in the former building of the hardware store. It should be next door, across the street.
Yeah.
Across the street from her father's former hardware
Feminist
store.
Books?
It's called Feminist Novels.
Feminist Novels.
So that's we're gonna workshop that one. So she's running the bookstore. Everything's going great. She's happy, but she hasn't found love because she works so many hours to keep her bookstore afloat, and because her bookstore is called Feminist Novels. So she hasn't found love. She's sitting there. She's got an oversized sweater on, and she's got like a cat that lives in the bookstore.
And
so
like
she's sitting
circular glasses.
What? Yeah, she's got glasses. Katie, this is Katie. Katie Langston.
Langston.
And, wait, isn't that Howard Langston?
Like, I was thinking Langston Hughes.
Oh, sure. I don't know who that is.
Howard Langston.
Yeah, Howard Langston.
From...
Jingle All the Way.
Oh, yes!
The second best Christmas movie to this one.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Katie is at the desk. It's Christmas Eve again, and she's waiting for some last-minute sales. She goes, "Oh, I should close." She says to her cat, Sprinkles. She says, "Sprinkles, I should close and spend time with mom." Well, is mom dead? I should go to the nursing home and visit mom. I should spend Christmas Eve with mom, but I need to pay rent. I gotta pay the rent at the building and rent at my apartment. Sprinkles, hopefully someone will come in and buy a bunch of books.
What happened to the hospital when the cart crashes into the vending machine?
That's good.
Oh, that's a separate timeline.
We'll come back to that. Yeah, that's a separate. It's like a movie where they flash back.
Okay.
Because there's gonna be all sorts of stuff. We're gonna be flashing forwards, backwards, right and
Sideways.
Yeah. Anyways, she says to Sprinkles, maybe we should just lock up shop. I don't think anyone's coming in. Sprinkles says, "Meow." And then she goes, "I know." And a single tear rolls down her cheek and lands on her book. And it's open to page 180 of a book. And so all of a sudden, she hears the diddling, the bells on the door are ringing. And she looks up and there's this tall drink of water. And Bells Will Be Ringing plays, and she stares at him, and then it gets like kind of misty, cloudy, and then she faints. And there's hearts.
Somebody entered.
There's hearts circling around her head, and she wakes up, and it's Amir. Well, we'll find out who it is. It's this tall drink of water is picking her up and setting her back in her chair, and he goes, "Oh, miss, you fell," and she goes, "Oh, that wasn't a dream." And then Sprinkles goes, "Meow." And she says, "Oh, hi. Sorry about that. I was just caught up in the story." And then the guy sees that the book is upside down or something. And or he goes, "Oh, you're caught up in this story?" And it's it's a lame book. And so then he goes, Oh, sorry. Excuse me. I should have introduced myself. My name is Amir. Pleased to meet you. And she goes, "Oh, hi. My name's Katie." He goes, "I was hoping you'd say Katie." And then she says, "Why is that?" And he goes,
"Mr. Ackle?"
Yeah. Well, no. She doesn't know his name.
Oh, right.
She doesn't know his name until shortly before they get married, probably. So, no spoilers, but she says, she goes, "Oh, why were you hoping my name was Katie?" And he goes,
"I have something that belongs to you."
Yes. You weren't the only one that inherited something. He goes, "I've dreamt about this day for 20 years. I haven't done this in 20 years. And she goes, 20 years? And then she thinks about it. She goes, 20 years to the day, almost. My father died saving my life. And he goes, "That's exactly why I'm here." And she goes, "You're here because my dad saved my life?" And he goes, "No, I'm here because your dad ended his life.
Your dad saved my life.
Yeah, and he goes, "Oh, not only did he save your life that day, but he saved my life." She says, "Huh?" And Sprinkles goes, "What?" And he goes, 20 years ago. By the way, he's East Indian descent, so... but I'm not going to do any voices because that is cultural appropriation. He goes, 20 years ago, I was living across the channel. He's living not across the channel.
Across the tracks.
Across the tracks. No, he's got to be across country. He came from San Francisco.
That's across the tracks.
Yeah, it's I came from across the tracks. 20 years ago, across the tracks in San Francisco.
And 100.
I was lying in a hospital bed, hooked up to a machine for 3 months, waiting for a donor. And then one day, a miracle happened, and a heart was transplanted and saved my life. And I found out that the heart belonged to your father.
Flashback to
Flashback. Oh,
They're-
yeah, and the lady crashes the cart into the vending
The
machine.
nurse has the heart.
Yeah, she's got the heart.
It was just flown in from across country.
Oh, this is in San Fran?
Yeah.
Okay.
Where he gets the heart.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
The nurse is like, this is hot off the jets. Takes the heart, puts it on a cart, runs the cart down,
Yeah.
bumps into the vending machine. The Coca-Cola spills all over the heart. Super powered heart.
No superpower
There's
heart.
a miracle in the heart.
No. The miracle is that he got a new heart and he lived.
But it's a super.
No, he's not a super
He didn't
heart.
just get any heart.
It is a super heart because everybody loved Frank Langston. Anyways.
And because of the caffeine.
No. Anyways, so she goes, oh my God, this is unbelievable. You came all the way here to tell me that story? And he's like, yes,
Yes,
Katie, but
baby,
now I've
baby.
got a better idea. Let's get a cup of coffee. And she goes, it's Christmas Eve. No places are open. And he goes, well,
Looks like you have a cafe
yeah,
in the bookshop.
yeah. Do you have a coffee pot here? Hey, you got any coffee upstairs? Fits you. And so then they spend all night reading books to each other and drinking coffee and catching up. And she just enjoys the time. She goes, I haven't loved someone like this since my father passed away. And he goes, your father is with us right now.
You're throwing the L word around pretty.
And so long story short, and the other thing is, she goes, so Amir, what's your name? I'd love to meet your family.
After they get engaged, right?
Yeah, she goes, what's your name? I'd love to meet your
Same
family.
night.
And he goes, my name is Amir Ackle. Pleased to meet you, right? And she goes, Amir Ackle? And he says, a miracle in his heart. Fade to
Fade
black.
to Black.
There you go.
Directed by.
Yeah. It should be wedding
Steven
bells.
Spielberg.
I now
I was
pronounce you
thinking
Mr.
Quentin,
and Mrs. Amir Ackle. And then everybody cheers. And then they look at the kid, they smooch,
This
and then
is
they
the-
walk down the aisle, and it turns slow motion.
This is
and
while
then
the
it says,
credits are rolling?
A miracle in his heart.
This is on the side when the credits are rolling, right?
Yes, yeah, I like
Yeah.
those. I like those.
Yep.
And it has like little home videos of them like chasing the cat around and like
Yeah.
accidentally burning the toast and stuff like
And
that.
they've known each other for 2 weeks by the time they get married.
Maybe less.
Okay,
Because
2 days.
because it's freezing in Lansing, but then they can fly to San Fran and have like a nice like warm wedding.
Yeah.
So either way, we're covered. If we want a winter wedding or like a springtime kind of setting wedding, we're covered. And then it ends with the classic song, A Miracle in His Heart. There must have been a miracle inside his heart that day. For when he fell through the ice, he knew everything be okay. And something like that, you know? Done! $1 million! That's done.